Jack Lee here. So I wanted to go over the questions that you asked here in our last email, and I thought a video would be a better way to explain my answers. So yeah, hopefully this video helps answers the questions. So let's get into it. So your first, okay, so setting one is the most suitable for your unicycle in daily use, and that's correct. Yes, setting one on both alarms, A and B, is the most suitable for my unicycle. So next question was, under normal conditions, when only a single alarm is used, you still prefer setting one of A over B. Now this is where I wanted to get into a little bit of nuanced. Okay, so yes, for my particular use case. So I find that A alarm, A is more sensitive when mounted incorrectly, which is which is mounted when, oh crap, oh sorry, when mounted in the not preferred, when mounted in a not preferred spot. So it's preferred that you mount it on a handlebar, right? And that's where you get the best results, and that's the appropriate place to mount it. That's not, so with the electric unicycle, that's not really possible or feasible. So if you take a look here at this electric unicycle, you see that there's scratches and dents here, scratches and dents here also. Also here, this part of the electric unicycle is another part of the handle, which is broke, which I used epoxy and stuff to fix it. But these aren't handles per se for like a bike that you use to control it. These are more like crash guards. So when you crash, these are the first things to take the damage. That's what these are for.
This poor guy broke his collarbone, one of the most common injuries in the EUC world. Weird equilibrium in the wheel that sent me flying into the air. No injuries or anything, it was just kind of embarrassing, like what the heck. This is Sheridan's cam at Apple Valley 3, and he basically over torques his X in at the start and goes flying. What's crazy, he managed to catch back up and still get a podium.
So I can't mount, oh shoot, I can't mount a alarm like here and have it last any amount of time. Plus there's the charge port here, there's the handle here used to lift this up. So where I've mounted mine is back here. And I found that, so I know this isn't the correct or recommended place to mount it, but I found, hold on, this video is about to cut off. Okay, so I know this isn't the correct place to mount it, but I found when mounted in the incorrect spots, A gives me better results than B. And I'll show you that here. So, for example, this is A, or this is A that's on there in that particular spot. I'm gonna arm it, and you'll see. Oh, see, I didn't even. All right, let's try this again. And someone tries to go off with it. Okay, let's try this again. All right, let's try it again. But I'm gonna wait for it to. Okay, now let's try it. And if someone was to try to like go off with it, usually A performs a lot better than B. Here, see, there we go. Now I'm going to switch these and put B in this position here. and you'll see the difference. Okay, so now we have B installed, and I'm going to show you the difference here. And they're both on sensitivity 1. And simulate someone just picking it up and rolling off with it. So that's why I say I prefer A for, you know, situations like that, because it's more sensitive when mounted in incorrect, you know, in the incorrect position. Now, as far as I think interference was the next one, false alarms. The false alarm rate is better on B. You get less false alarms with B than you do with A. You get a lot more false alarms with A than you do with B. But, you know, A is the only one that I can mount really in a position and more flexible positions. But to answer your questions, I guess as far as the broader consumer, B would be the best one. I would also agree. In a normal position when you use a signal alarm. Okay, I would prefer, shoot. If I have to mount it correctly, I would say B on one setting. If I have to mount it correctly. But if I want flexibility to mount it anywhere I want, then A. Setting 1, yes. Most sensitive is the most suitable for my daily uses. False alarm rate of B is way better. You have way better false alarm rates. Way less false alarms on B than you do with A. And I'll get back to this one here in a second. Okay, so lastly, could you share your overall ratings for A, B, and the other low cost alarm you tested under normal conditions? So yeah, when you asked other low cost alarm, I'm not sure if you meant the original Guardian alarm that was shipped out before this new firmware testing, or if you meant this third party one that I got from Amazon. But to answer it both ways, so the overall ratings, I would say, I would give this one definitely 5 stars. B1 5 stars. A1 3.5 to 4 stars. The old one, this one here, 2 stars, 1.5 stars. And this here, so this is just a cheap third party alarm from Amazon. And it's a lot more sensitive. I love that sensitivity of it. But it doesn't have like the notification like these have. It won't send me a notification. So I'll definitely give this third party one though 5 stars. It doesn't matter where I mount this or how I mount it. Its sensitivity is the same. But it's just missing that third part, that remote notification. So yeah, hopefully that answers all of the questions. And yeah, let me know if you have any more. Okay, so in the previous video, I showed you guys that certain frequencies can set off, cause false alarms on the alarms. So frequencies like the sound of ambulances, construction equipment, motors, and a whole bunch of other things. Those frequencies can trigger a false alarm. It's not always like vibration. It's just like those frequencies given off, even if there is no vibration. So I want to show you like an observation that I had when the units are removed, when the sensors are removed from their casing. So I also have the third party alarm here that I have from Amazon, um, which 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 also sets off the alarms. But you'll see just like that sound, um, that beeping sound sets off the alarms. But even if there's no vibration. So if I pick this up, there's no vibration. Oh, let me arm this again. Okay. So you see. All right. So I'll leave that armed. Turn that off. And I'll show you also from the sounds. Remember from the sounds that I showed you in the video. Sometimes these sounds can set it off. Well, often these sounds can set it off too. You can see blues going off, greens going off. So there's the false alarm that's given off by anything that gives off. So, and then the other frequency here. You guys notice the third party one didn't go off, and it's even closer to the speaker. Right, and that frequency range. Now we're going to show the 1500, 1005. No. Okay, but again, you already know that, so I've shown that already. But what I've noticed here now, I'm going to cut to them removed from the casing under the same testing. Okay, so here's something that I discovered or found out because I was curious on why it's like certain frequencies that set off the alarm, and I didn't think it was the MEMS accelerometer, which is, well, you know what that is. But so I got a little curious, and what I noticed is if I just take like so let's take blue for example, and I take the quartz crystal here, and I just touch that a little bit, you'll notice the alarm goes off just for that one. And I know the quartz crystal, when it vibrates, is generating electricity. So I wonder if that's what's causing it. So the same thing with the red here. If I take the red here, okay, the red has less is less susceptible to it. I see. And now let's try the green, which is the original one. And that goes off. So what I'll try to do now is desolder the I'll desolder the quartz crystals from these and see if it still does the same exact thing. I wonder why. Does red have like a filter somewhere, I wonder? Oh, there it is. There it is. So it just took a little bit more pressure, but it still did it. Yeah. Okay, so what I'll try to do is I'll desolder the speaker, just one wire from the speaker, and see if the same thing happens here. Okay, so what I've done here is just removed one wire from the piezoelectric crystal that goes to the board on each one. Blue for each and every one of them. All right, so what I've done is just remove one lead from each and every alarm, the piezoelectric crystal, and see if I can activate them now with the speaker. So blue is activating. Blue again. So let's try that video that I showed you earlier. Tone, it gets to 640. The keys are there. So there's the false alarm that's given off by anything that gets. So none of the alarms went off with that, with the sound now. Off 640 hertz. So let's try the next one. Operate in the 1,500 hertz range also will set off the alarm falsely. So this is another group of 100 devices. Another group of 100 devices that will set it off falsely. None of the alarms went off again. So that lets me know that the problem is with the connection with this the piezoelectric crystal there. Blue is something's going on with that with A1. But also another thing that I've noticed with all of these is if you were to take like just these two pins here, connections here, and go across that terminal that's for the speaker, and then release, usually the alarm goes off. Let's see. Hold it there and then release it. See, blue just went off. And then the same thing with all of them. If I take the pins here, yeah, so yeah, this is all that I was able to find out through my testing. Something's odd about A1 because even if I remove the speaker altogether, it still goes off with the sound interference. So like if I remove this speaker altogether and then play this sound here, oh, well, never mind. Okay, there it is. Yeah, you see. But all the other ones are still doing great. So, yep, that's all I got.